Okay, so I got her in the shop. Yeah, we got some snow last night, nothing too major. Got a few different options I could do with this now. Strip it down right to the bare frame, or I could try to get it running. So running wise, I'm not too concerned about getting it running. You can see it has a weird ass rear end in it. I'll try to get a better picture of that once I remove the access panel on the back there. Anyway, going to let it melt now for a couple hours. Note to self, when washing, don't let it sit outside. The steering wheel, I thought I was going to break it. Well, you can see right there. It already froze up solid where I can't even move it. That's the steering. Oh, there we go. It's starting to move. Anyway, I don't want to break it. Bringing it inside. Yeah, it was pretty stiff. So you can see the front end designed with the dual mufflers. The hood actually isn't mounted. It doesn't have the safety strap. So the safety strap's not hooked up. So it pops off fairly easy. Let that sit. So there you can see the engine itself. So it's the twin, IC twin. I believe it's a 1983. That's what I think by looking at the tag on the side of the machine. But I don't see the actual numbers on the engine. Actually, I do right here. Briggs & Stratton 88. There's an 88 there. So, yeah, looks like an 1988. So, according to that tag, it looked like an 83. So, I'm not sure. I'll have to double check. But I know they made these from almost 10 years, I believe. So, never did too much research on when they made them from. But that's frozen solid. Or just really, really tight. Anyway, for now, I'm going to take off the mule drive on the front. Don't need that. Oh man, that belt's frozen and crunchy. So, electric clutch. So, I'm going to pop that off. Then, I guess I'll start by popping off the air filter. Now, for the wiring issue, you can see almost all the wiring is disconnected. It has no spark. So, last time it was running was at, I think he said about 5 years ago. So what I'm going to do is just go through the wiring, take a quick look. He's sure of it. It's the magneto itself, so magnetron style. I believe there's no points on this engine. Being an 88, yeah, there won't be any points on it for sure. So, anyway, kind of make the video as I go along. It has the friction disc transmission, which I actually haven't even crawled underneath it. I didn't really care too much to look underneath it when I was buying it, because I'm buying it for, you know, shits and giggles, something to do. It looks to have a pretty flimsy stamped steel frame. Hard to say, might end up being pretty decent. So anyway, I gotta just decide now what I want to do with it fully. If I want to try getting it running, driving as is. And you know, go from there. So I'll leave it like this now till the snow melts. Then I'll start playing around with it. The dash is all loose too, because they were looking at all the wiring. So I'll actually pop off the steering wheel, remove the dash, put it somewhere where it's not going to end up getting shattered like on the Sears Suburban. So sweet. Okay, so I got off a few little things. Airbox is nicely filled up with you know, pellets. I'm sure you guys know what those are. So it doesn't seem to be anywhere else, but I did wash it. I already found the problem with the ignition, why it has no spark. If you look, the kill switch wire here, the rubber is all rotten off it, and when I pull back the rubber, it is clearly being grounded out on the case right there. So that is not meant to touch that case there. So look at that. Clearly that is definitely what the problem is. So it could be that they maybe moved it later on after, you know, trying to figure out what the spark issue is. They could have loosened it and they could have moved it after. But yeah, that is your kill switch wire, and it's being grounded out. So, which doesn't matter. Normally on these, you just unhook all your wiring and it'll run. So, but, ooh, Rotten City right there. So in this case here, it's being grounded out right here. Now, that could have, like I said, he could have moved that after they were having problems with it running. So, I could technically just hook up a battery real quick, give it a quick try. Okay, so the starter motor was frozen up. I hooked power up to it. I tried a few different grounds. This ground here, of course, I'm not getting the best ground on it, but it's actually smoking right here on the body ground. So that has to be done. The other one's hooked right up to the starter side of the solenoid. As you can see, it free spins now, but it's still not kicking to engage. So it could just be iced up. It's still full of ice. I did just wash it. I also noticed the stator wiring for charging is all chewed up by a mouse. Don't know if that's going to show. Oh yeah, you can kind of see it there. It's chewed up all the way down the whole wire, all the way inside there. So a mouse was snacking on it pretty good. So no matter what, the cover has to come off. Again, I have no problem doing that because I'm probably going to pull the entire engine off. I got the spark plugs out. They both pretty much look the same. Normal, pretty much, you could say. All the wiring is disconnected right now, so it's... And I just hit a button on the camera and got to start again. So yeah, anyway, it's in the run position right now. Nothing hooked up to there. I might even disconnect this. You never know if the grounding block there is shorting out. On the generator, the Briggs & Stratton 8-horse generator, it was actually on the bottom of the stud. Underneath, it was shorting out because it was all floppy and loose. This one here is, you know, not that bad, so it's normal. Anyway, you can see the moisture starting to come out of it now, and that is starting to warm up. So, cast iron intake manifold. The rest of the cylinder is aluminum. It has cast iron bore. Anyway, I looked at the oil. It's pretty tarry, like it looks like tar. Could be because it hasn't ran in 5 years. The bottom of the oil would be a little bit, you know, gooey. I would like to at least fire it up. Now the mule drive, I'm not sure if that's meant to be like that. I really have no idea. Any tractor I have ever worked on has never had electronic clutch on the front. I know almost all the modern ones do. So, wire there for the headlights, I'm guessing. So, I don't see where the bolts could have, you know, been taken out. So, anyway, that's pretty crusty. If I do start it, I'll just push the belt underneath so it's away from there. So yeah, I'm just going to give the solenoid there on a starter a little bit more time, see if it'll free itself up. I can't even really see the gears in there yet. I could probably shove my head around and peek at it. I'm going to give it a little shot of something to kind of lube it up. Sitting for 5 years, you never know. The flywheel actually has frost on it. It is pretty cold outside, and it's only been in the garage now for not even half an hour. So anyway, there, now you can see a better view of that wiring right there. You can see it's all chewed up all the way down. So that's nice. Anyway, so once I get the starter free, I'm going to check for spark conditions. If it has spark, I'll give it a little bit of a shot of something and see if she fires. Sweet. Okay, so I just gave the starter a shot of this shit. I got a whole bunch of that from my old work. So, there could be ice in there. So I'm going to let it sit. I know that's not really showing up there, but I don't know. It seems I can't really get my fingers in there very well, and I don't want to start prodding at it, poking at it with screwdrivers, banging it or anything like that. So I'll give it a little bit. I don't know what the hell that is. Must have sucked that up through it at one time. So there is a bunch of crap lodged in there. Here we see it, but anyway, I'll give it a little bit more time. Go in, eat some supper, and see what happens. Sweet. Okay, so I just cleaned up the starter, gave it a little bit of shot of that KP53 oil. Let's try it again. Oh, got a lot of sparks there. Okay, so I just double checked. I have no spark still. Got the wire disconnected here from my kill. No spark still, so it has to be the magnetron magneto. I can just see it here. Now you can see the lip here, how it's all bent. It looks like someone was banging it or something. It's all kind of bent out of shape, unless for some reason, who knows, I guess. The fun thing is about this engine, which I already knew, you pretty much got to take out the engine to change it. Because you got to get off this flywheel cover here, which actually spins with the entire engine, to be able to take off this cover. So it's not too big of a deal. I'm going to do the valves on it. I'm going to pull it apart. Then I'm going to decide if I'm going to put this motor back in this thing, or I might use this on a generator. I'm thinking this motor at 1800 RPM will be able to turn a 5 kilowatt generator, so 5000 watt, or at 3600 should be able to do an 8 kilowatt. So that'd be actually kind of pushing it, but anyway, that would be pushing it. Anyway, I guess I'll start pulling out the motor for now. Sweet. Thought I'd throw this in too. Here's the Owen 16. Look at the oil covering it. Holy shit. Anyway, all the parts look good besides right there. Look at that. Now, by the looks of it, I stuck my finger in. I never actually turned it and looked in it, but I think that happened probably just from all the parts sitting in the parts box. This will actually be the first time I turn it to look down the bore. So you can see the bore is coated with an oil, so yeah. You see he started cleaning up the cylinder heads. So let's see this. Yeah, you can see my finger groove in there, like my finger where I moved some oil, but yeah, the cylinders look to be good. I will have to double check that. Again, I'll most likely just be keeping this for parts. Now I'm wondering if it's the input shaft or which shaft the oil is coming from, because I'm sure of it that's coming from one of the seals, main seal. Don't know if it's which main seal or which seal it's coming from. Crankshaft seals. Yeah, it's coated in oil. Someone actually sprayed it down with oil, or it's just that it was, you know, leaking that much oil that it just got everywhere. So those are the two chainsaws I picked up in there. So I'll have to look at those later on. You want to be pulling the motor in just a few seconds. Right now it is 6:30, so I'll probably have that motor out most likely within half an hour. So, mind you, getting the bolts on there, I'm not sure if I'm going to remove the entire knuckle assembly or just the 2 set bolts. If I remove the 2 set bolts, I'm not sure if I'll be able to get the shaft out of there, so have to just kind of do it piece by piece and see what happens. Sweet. Okay, so I got the motor out. Man, that's a freaking easy motor to remove. Had the wiring for the PTO on the front. The 2 studs there, where you just undid bolts on it, or nuts on it, and then there's 2 bolts on the back here, one there, and one, you don't even want to know where it was, but in between all that. That is 2 inches thick of slime, grime, and who knows what. Anyway, you can see, or actually you can't really see the shaft in there, so that's the shaft going to the transmission. It doesn't look that strong to me. Only 2 bolts hold that. So anyway, you can see right there, it uses a, it looks like a nylon. Yeah, that's some kind of nylon. Oh, yeah, I'm not even aiming. So it uses some kind of nylon for a coupler to the engine. So I'm guessing they do that to, so there's not as much vibration. But holy crap, I can see that snapping pretty easy. But again, any force goes from the electric PTO. So that's kind of like a snowblower style, where it has a snowblower transmission, mind you. So it's not designed to be peeling out, pulling loads, even though the guy actually modified a trailer hitch onto it, extension. So with little tiny tires like that, rims like that, yeah, I guess it would be fine. So anyway, that grime, ugh, yuck. At least I never found any dead mice in it or anything like that yet. So now I got to clear off a spot on the workbench, which is going to be fun. The metal cutting saw I can put into storage. All the other engines along the backside there I can just kind of leave, I guess. This one here I kind of want to keep on the workbench. I actually should bring it to a car wash. Ugh. Of course I do got the big parts washer, which is behind my quad there, or quads. I got the big parts washer right there, but I don't really want to kill my Varsol so quick, because cleaning out one engine the way it is, that's just, oh, it's just going to be horrible on it. So I'll bring it to the car wash the way it is, and I'll once I'm done washing it, I'll give it a coat of fluid film to stop it from rusting. So yeah, I have to do that. Anyway, basically now I'm probably going to kick it outside and put the hood back on. Actually, I'm going to remove the mule drive from the front, mule drive pulley for the deck. Don't need that on it, so sweet. Okay, so I'll give you guys a little shot here how the friction drive works on, it's kind of the same idea for a lot of snow blowers, but how it works on this. So you have to watch, before I start showing you, this piece here pivots side to side. On the end of this, right in here, is rubber. It's like a rubber wheel, and then this plate here that turns, basically the closer you are to the center, the slower it's going to turn the wheel. The farther you are, the faster it's going to turn the wheel. So if you look here, you see kind of how it turns. That's in fourth gear or fifth gear, sixth gear, and I'll go right down to first gear. So, and for reverse, I'm not sure if you see that, but I'm actually not looking at the camera, but I'm guessing it went to the other side of the wheel. So we'll bring it back down to, say, fourth gear. So, and of course when you hit your pedal, it just pushes a little bit tighter. So anyway, I'm not sure how good that showed up, so I'll try again. You can see, or you can't see, right here's the rubber. Try to zoom in here again. And my battery is about to die. So that's the rubber right here. And that's the wheel. So, and of course, changing gears moves the place of the rubber. The center here, can't even show you really. Right here is the center shaft. That's the drive shaft where it hooks on. So you can see how fast it's spinning. You gotta look at the black rubber right in there. So, of course, now it's going to be that. I think I went into reverse. Yeah. Oh no, that's neutral. So that's in neutral, part neutral, whatever. So this goes to first gear. You see the rubber wheel now is turning slowly, right? Right to sixth gear. And now you can see. And zoom out here a bit. That's the drive shaft where it normally connects to the engine, which is sitting right there. So that's, I don't know if that's going to help anyone, but you know, you can see this here is just pivots side to side, and then it goes to, I guess, a chain to the back axle. I'm not sure exactly how the differential works, if it's only one wheel peel, or if that wheel on the bottom even ever spins. So anyway, that's pretty much all I wanted to show you guys, and now I'll flip it back onto its wheels. So, because I had my buddy was kind of wondering how it works. I told him the same idea as a snowblower, so sweet. Okay, one more thing I thought I'd show before my battery dies. So this thing here, you can see how the steering wheel is almost straight up. It actually has tilt steering, so that's a bonus. It's kind of hard to do it because it's kind of seized, but there we go. I just had to hit it harder. So tilt steering all the way down, race mode, and bus mode, I guess, is whatever you want to call it when it's all the way up at the top. So, and it securely locks into place. It's just you push down and up the collar. So, anyway, I'm going to kick this outside now. Going to kick it outside. Of course, I got the motor sitting on the floor right there, and let it sit outside until I decide what I'm going to do. And for now, I'm going to pull the cover, the flywheel. Well, I don't have to pull the flywheel, but the cover off. And I'll take a look at the magneto and figure out why it has no spark. Okay, so I have her up on the workbench. Stuck the Owen 16 under the bench for now. Anyway, I was just looking at this shit that they use to join it together. It's the same stuff that looks like circuit boards are made out of, so kind of like a fiber, kind of resin-y kind of stuff. I can't remember the exact name of it, but anyway, I was just looking here. It actually has a booster fan on the front. That is pretty sweet, the booster fan. I'm not sure if that's showing up. The old owner did have the heads off. He said that. He reused old gaskets, so I'm going to be pulling those off, changing those out, checking it all. But yeah, for now I'm pulling off this cover and I'm going to see what it's like internally. See what the mice chewed up, you know, stuff like that. Sweet. Okay, so I got off the cover, everything super easy, took only a few seconds. I like the fact that it has the booster fan on it. So I seen this on some older Briggs & Stratton engines and a couple generators. It has, you know, the lightweight style flywheel that shouldn't explode, I'm hoping. So as you can see here, it is very dirty. Let's try to not push it on the carburetor. I'm actually pushing at the bottom here. You can see it's just covered in grease and dirt everywhere. So anyway, I'm going to pull this off, take a look at it. I already pulled the wire out. I don't see any breaks in the wire anywhere that it was shorting out. So I'll pull it right off, take a look at it, and I guess order myself a new one. Okay, so I just pulled it off, stuck it in the parts washer. You can see now that I got all the grease off it where it's clearly burnt. Right in here. That's flaking away. It's actually burnt. So, I know I don't have really the best light here, but that's probably better there. You can see it's all clearly burnt. It was way worse looking. Like the parts washer, actually, a lot of the burnt stuff kind of flaked off, but it's clearly burnt. Anyway, order myself a new one of these. I know I could probably pick through this, kind of pick it out, probably get it working again if I really wanted to, but I don't have time. If you ever do parts wash anything with rubber like this, the main thing you want to make sure to do is pull back your boots here and let it dry and wipe it all off, because this parts washing Varsol will actually eat the rubber away. So it's good as long as you make sure to clean it. So anyway, just kind of thought I'd throw that in the video. And this is the way it's going to sit now for probably a week or two before I get parts. And then once I get parts, I'll do a little bit more work on it. Sweet. One more thing. I need some people's comments on this. So I am not using the tranny or the drive off the flywheel that it had originally. I'm going to be removing the electric clutch, which is loose. I'm not sure if there's meant to be a bushing on the lock here at the bottom. Where the red plate goes, there's a lock. So I'm not sure if there's meant to be a bushing or not. But anyway, I'm thinking that I might be going to a torque converter, depending on the size of that shaft. So anyway, if I can find a torque converter at a decent price, I'm going to run a torque converter to a jack shaft and then to a solid axle, 1-inch axle rear end. So no reverse, forward only. And yeah, just kind of let me know what you guys think about that. Of course, the motor will have to be mounted this way in the frame. Then I'll have my dual side pipes, which I'll have to modify and change because the torque converter will be in the way. So just let me know what you guys think about that design idea. And yeah, the other option is picking up a different motor, something with more power than this. But I'm thinking, as long as it's the same size shaft as, say, like a 20 horse, it'll be good for now. Oh, I got hiccups. Anyway, I had the idea to try to find a 20 or more horsepower engine, but temporary, I might even end up using this one, so it doesn't seem to be in that bad a shape, so sweet.